Khan, yeah, start up.
Yeah, that's it. I can't. Barak, first and foremost, I'd like to say Barak Afar, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakwa, Kodash. Yeah.
Yeah, Bashim Shabrak.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well, and salutations to all of the sincere Akian worldwide. With some of the brothers in the GMS London camp, and we've just been having some spiritual discourse about the hell that we catching in this kingdom, man. And ultimately, you know, the fact that right now, man, this feminism thing, this pushing of this feminism is at an all-time high, man. The Most High created the woman to be in subjection under the man. The man has total dominion over the woman. The woman is the possession of the man, as the scriptures say. But yet Esau's trying to flip that on his head and trying to make it to where if you are a man trying to rightfully take your possession, he's going to tell you he's going to hit you with a €750 fine if you're from France. And you best believe that shit's going to spread like wildfire across Europe, man, because you already know what these English women are like. Hey, brother's got some articles, we got some scriptures, and we just gonna roll in the spirit, man. So come with it, bro.
Yeah, Khan. Yeah, so I'm gonna get your first one, right? It says from bustle.com, says successful women.
Oh yeah. Let me just give a bit of backstory. So naturally, if you work in a professional environment, you'll notice that a lot of these women that are in higher positions are always down, always depressed. You talk to them, they try to put on that professional front like they're happy in their jobs, but ultimately speaking, women are not built for men, man. But brother's gonna bring out some articles, just an article that we looked up, just showing that ultimately speaking, these women in power ain't happy because it's not their lot. That we go dissect it through the scriptures. So yeah, so like your bro, go on.
Yeah. It says bustle.com. From bustle.com says successful women more likely to be depressed, study says. So that's ... depressing. Right. It says back in November 26, 2014. It says apparently what's good for your career isn't necessarily good for your mental health. Based on the new study, it seems that women's careers improve. Sorry, it seems that as women's careers improve, we tend to show more signs of depression. So that's all depressing. So that's, well, depressing doesn't seem quite the right word, but you get the idea. It sucks.
So ultimately, what the article is telling you is that when these men in this society get up in positions of power, the more money they seem to be making, the better off they seem to be. They get depressed. But I thought ultimately these people were trying to be career women. So what's up with that? Why is it that these women are getting to positions of power and they're getting upset by it? Because that's not their lot, man. The man was made to rule. The man was made to be the head of the household. You can read that back all the way going back to Genesis 3:16. Now, just on that point, I got a quick precept, which is 1 Corinthians 11 and then verse 3, and it says, for the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. Now ultimately you gotta understand that the man was created to be the head of the household, man. Ultimately speaking, the hierarchy is the Most High, Yahweh Shai, the man and the woman. Women are not meant.
I've got that for you here.
Yeah, let me finish the point and then we bring it out in it. Yeah, like, you know, the woman was not the man was not made from the woman from the man. So you see in this society, people have this concept of, without my mother I wouldn't be here, without my mother I wouldn't be the man that I am today. Hey, without your father, bro, honestly speaking, without your father you could have been born of an Edom. You could have, you know, if the Lord willed it, you could have come through as an Edomite seed. Really, you could have come through as any nation on the earth. It's all the power of your heart, Hashem Yahweh Shai, but the Most High blessed you and gave you an Israelite father, and you came off the seed of Israel. And that's the beautiful thing, is the seed that matters, you know? Go on, bro.
It's 2 Maccabees 7:22, right? So the story of this is the story of the 7 brothers, right? It says which called the mother, she just watched her 7 children get put to death. She says in 2 Maccabees 7:22, I cannot tell how you came into my womb, for I neither gave you breath nor life, neither was it I that formed the members of every one of you. But doubtless the creator of the world, who formed the generations of man and found out the beginning of all things, will also of his own mercy give you breath and life again, as ye now regard not your own selves for his law's sake. So basically going into the fact, you know, on the point that you made about how you have these women talking about how these guys talking about, oh, I wouldn't be here without my mom. Well, really, your mom was just an incubator, right? And it's the Lord who set everything up. Right, and I also got another precept on what you said as well, 1 Corinthians 11 And verse 3 says, "But I would have you know that the head of every man is Yahweh Shai," right?
Mm-hmm.
It says, "And the head of the woman is the man," right? And
Mm-hmm.
the head of Yahweh Shai is the Most High, Yahweh.
Can't, can't. There's a hierarchy, man, and you got to respect the powers that be. The Most High created everything. The Most High created it to where the man rules over the woman. Yahweh Shai is over the man, and the Most High is over Yahweh Shai, man. There's a hierarchy in this thing, and at the end of the day, Esau got it to where in his society he's trying to distort that natural way of being. You see, the Most High created a hierarchy, and that's nature. Nature is anything the Most High ordained to be good. The Most High ordained ultimately speaking, we live by that. But Esau trying to, but it's not meant to work like that. It's the same way like brothers were going to in a previous sit down we did. You get a car that needs diesel, you put petrol in it. The shit just ain't gonna run. The engine's gonna sound upset. Do you know what I mean? Honestly speaking, and that's why everyone out here is in a depressed state of mind because they're meant to be running on a certain type of oil, but Esau's like, nah, have some of this instead. Have some of this crackhead juice. Have some of that Babylon oil. And honestly speaking, man, our people are sick of that. You know, go on, bro. Continue on with the article, Baba Bashar, if you've got a
Yeah,
brief.
yeah, I got a quick one. So Isaiah 29:16 says, "Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay, for shall the works of him that made it, he made me not,
Mm,
or shall the
mm.
things of him that framed it, he had no understanding."
Yeah, and that goes into the fact that the Most High created everything for his purpose. You see, man has a purpose on earth, man, to be a provider, to be a guard unto his woman, to literally be the mediator between the Most High and his family household, man, to be the leader, to be the champion, and a woman is supposed to be the incubator, the backbone, you know, the fair and fragile flower, man, really and truly. But these women out here, we ain't got no women in this society. Because the word woman that Apostle Gabar always likes to go into, man, means servant. Yeah. And honestly speaking, we ain't got no servants in this society. You have a lot of women out here that will back you up talking about what do you mean and believe you. You know, a lot of these women out here are into feminism and female empowerment. But when has that ever worked out for anyone? Hey, females are not built to rule, man. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Yeah. The
Well,
Most High and his son are men. The scripture talks about the flock of the Lord's pastor being men, because men are built to rule. That's why there were 12 disciples, male. That's why the 12 hierarchy, the 12 patriarch tribesmen are all male. Diana, the sister, had no tribe because at the end of the day, the man is the principal thing. Go on, right?
yeah, kind of just getting a quick precept on what you were saying about, because according to the law, in Numbers 30, I'll just touch on it real quick. So Numbers 30, verse 2.
Mm.
Verse 3 actually says, "If a woman also vow unto the Lord and bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house in her youth, and her father hear her vow and her bond wherewith she hath bound her
Oh yeah,
soul, and
yeah.
her father shall hold his peace at her." You got a point? All
Yeah,
right,
no, I was
cool.
just gonna
So
back you
then,
up and say, hey, honestly speaking, a woman, like the precept the brother's gonna bring out validates. When a woman's in her father's household, she's her father's possession. Yeah. And then when she leaves her father's household, she becomes her husband's possession. The scripture
mm,
talks about he that getteth a wife getteth a possession. I'm gonna grab that while you reading. I'm gonna go on,
yeah,
bro.
can't. It says, "Then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she hath bound her soul shall stand. But if her father disallow her in the day that he heareth her, not any of her vows or of her bonds wherewith she hath bound her soul shall stand, and Yahweh shall forgive her, because her father has disallowed
Can't.
her."
So what that's saying is that if a woman, promises herself to a man, and her father's not having none of it because he's still the ruler over her, or and he says no, you ain't marrying that man, or you ain't, you ain't leaving my household at this moment in time. The man can do that because at the end of the day, his daughter is his possession, man. But ultimately speaking, what that's saying is if a father rules something, it disannuls the wishes of the daughter.
Mm.
But in this society, guess what? You can't do that. You try and tell your woman, your daughter, she can't get married to who she wants to get married to. They're gonna throw you in a crazy asylum and take your children away from you, man. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
go on, bro.
Yeah, and also it shows you that they can't be trusted to make decisions on their own.
Hey man, I like to liken it to, and even though they weren't Jake, I mean, you know, you could even liken them to Israelite foreigners. You know, we all grew up on that Disney bullshit, for example. You know, that Walt Disney. You got like for Aladdin, for example. You got this Princess Jasmine. She could have married like, you know, a prince of another district, but then she chose to marry a street thief with a pet monkey, bro.
Well,
Do you know what I mean?
you're having that in Japan at this very moment. The princess of Japan
Mm,
is basically revoking her status as princess to become a commoner
mm,
because she wants to marry a common man. You know,
Hey
whereas
man, go on,
yeah, I
bro.
was saying whereas as we're saying were this the ancient world where you say no, you do this. A father will be like, look, man, we're trying to build kingdoms here. You go marry this guy, right? And then our families will join together.
Mm, that's right. That's right. That's right. But these women out here ain't trying to hear that. You know, they too gassed up on that neo miss independent. You know what I mean? And the whole
Mm.
consciousness of people has shifted. If you notice, that's why the music and the power of music is so important, bro. Because you know, brothers have done videos on this in the past. Our bodies are, for example, and this is a whole nother topic I'm just mentioning quickly, are 70% water, bro. Music has an effect on water. Like, honestly speaking, where like, you know, back in the day in the early 2000s, all these women out here were trying to fall in love, trying to have a relationship, trying to, you know, they were all trying to get, you know, be married women in relationships. Then you had the Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, saucy era, and all of a sudden every woman's just on some, well, fuck a man, I'm just gonna fuck with my girlfriend
Well,
instead.
well, to back you up, I'll give an example of that that outlines it is what you call it, Beyonce with two of
Mm,
her songs. You go back to the era you're talking about, she's making songs like Cater to You and all of that. I'm a
uh,
cater to you.
uh,
And then move forward,
mm.
right? She's talking, about all the single ladies.
Yeah. Oh man, hell, hell, bro. But that's what I'm saying, bro. It just goes to show this is all ordained by Esau, bro, because he's pushing this vibration out there, man. Because you see what it is, this causes nothing but confusion. You think the Rothschilds had this issue? You think the Rothschilds' daughters can turn around and say, yo, you know, and I mean, you know, you had the issue that you had the one thing with Jay Electronica and that, but you think ultimately speaking that they can just leave and marry who they want to. Honestly speaking, at the end of the day, bruv, the elites ain't practicing that. The daughters ain't getting no major inheritance over the men because at the end of the day, they know that the man carries the seed, bruv.
Mm. Can't. Yeah, I'll go back because that was more or less it on number 30. I mean, it then repeats it for the husband when the husband hears her vow, right?
Mm,
So it carries on. So back in the article says the study, which was published by research at the University of Texas and the Journal of Health and Social Behavior, focuses on women with the ability to hire and fire employees and the ability to affect others' pay, who, as it turns out, are also the women more likely to exhibit symptoms of depression. It says the same,
mhm,
however, does not hold true for men. More authority and greater career advancement actually correlate to men showing fewer symptoms of depression. This
mm.
means that overall women in leadership positions are 47% more likely to suffer from depression than men.
47%, bruv. That practically means one in two, really and truly. So that goes to show you, bruv, you women are not built for places, for positions of rulership, man. You women are not made for rule, man. The man's position is to rule. Like, I'm just quickly grab this, continuing on in First Corinthians 11. But it's said in verse, just a second, verse 11. Nevertheless, neither is the man. Actually, no, Salakia. Um, but I want to start from verse 8. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. What does that go into? The woman was created to be a helpmeet unto the man, to be a support, a pillar of support, man. Not to take over and supersede, but to you know, to help the man, be a backbone, you know, be that supportive pillar, which is what all the ancient women were, and the woman's trying to supersede the man, trying to take that seat of rulership. And if anything, she ain't even trying to take that seat of rulership. She's trying to do it on her own, talking about, I don't need a man, I'm just gonna be a career woman. And Esau's made it possible where these women can live a life and actually technically never come in contact with a man physically. They can just go to a sperm bank and have a child and just request for sperm. Like Esau's just got Esau's got a society where a woman can have a child with you, kick you out the house, and she gets a free house because she's got a child with you. As long as you ain't around, that child and her can live in that house. The child grows up all its life, and all it knows is mama brought me up. Mama, sweet mama, sweet mom, man. I know, forget. That's all. That's That's the whole spirit of this place, bro. Worship of women, bro. Ultimately,
Can. Yeah, it says, goes on to say, so what's up? Well, predictably has to do with a lot with this sexist society screwing us over, which that's not the case, man. Right? That's just trying to give women a reason, because you have companies that are all women.
Hey, I've had it to where I applied for some roles back in the day, and then they were telling me, yo, are you serious for real? Like bro, there was numerous places I applied to retail when I was younger back in the day, and they straight up told me, no, we don't want you. We looking for a woman to employ. And I'm like, God damn, bro, this place is just through. Imagine there was a workplace that told them, like, imagine there was somewhere like you applied to and they said we only employ men. Can you imagine how crazy this woman will go, bro? They'll be rallying for days, bro. Placards, all of that, bro. All of that.
That's right.
All of that. But that's what I'm saying. This society encourages women to play a role that they're not supposed to play. That's why
Madness.
And then it encourages men to be beta. And everything out here is just furthering that. We drink from plastic bottles, bro. Even the actual everything, man. The whole foundation of this earth is out of course, bro. Everything's gone out of course, bro. Everything. Like, even the fact that you've got these homosexual men out here, bro. Like, that vibration, you know what it is? You see homosexuality, bro. It puts out a vibration, a wicked vibration of a man can be soft and it's okay, bro. It's not okay, bro. No man should be sat there in tight, skinny jeans and ball huggers, bro, with some tight ass. Like, no man should be doing that, because what it then does is that men see that, and in the subconscious, they can see women like homosexuals, and maybe, they ain't gonna start, dyeing their hair pink and doing all of that madness straight away, but ultimately speaking, they become softer, because that whole, when women tell you need to be more in touch with your feminine side, you need to, hey man, a man is a man, bro. And the ancient, you think you could have told Abraham or King David or one of the ancient men of the Bible, be more in touch with your feminine side. Look what happened when Saul's daughter tried to laugh at King David, bro. He locked her up, bro, in the tower, bro, and she didn't have no children until she died, bro.
Which in the ancient world, that was something that was frowned upon. Women wanted to get women in the ancient world. Women wanted to give them. You have what you call it, Rachel as an example. Right, she was like, "Look, man, I have my handmaids, right?" Yeah, that was Sarah, Abraham and Sarah, right? Sarah was like, "Look, man, have the Egyptian, man. That I may have seed by her." Right, you have several accounts where women were able to conceive, and then they like to cut you off. So it had women who couldn't conceive, and then they went to inquire of the Lord. So like, look, man, I want some youths.
Real talk. But hey, man, in this city, bro, in this society, these women are more concerned about their figure, bro.
Yeah, their figure and their career.
Goes to show. Hey, and it's ridiculous, bro, because a lot of these women out here, to be real with you, are not doing their natural purpose on earth, bro, to conceive the seed, bro. That's what it is. If you can get that in Genesis 1 for me, Baba Kashar, the man made man and woman and said, be fruitful and multiply. Because ultimately speaking, the whole duty of man is to fear the Most High and to keep his commandments, man. When the Most High said, be fruitful and multiply, guess what? On a level, that was a commandment, man. Be fruitful and multiply the earth. And mankind is supposed to be out here replenishing the earth. Esau's got people believing that the earth is overpopulated, bro. Completely off. You got that, Baba Kashan?
Yes, Genesis 1:22 says, and the Most High blessed them and said, rather the powers blessed them and said, be fruitful and multiply and fill the waters in the sea, and let the fowl multiply in the earth.
Can't. But guess what? In this society, you have more than one child. People gonna be looking at you like you crazy, bro.
Well, bro. So lucky to cut it off. I must needs say this, right? You'll be around Edomites, and then they'll be like, after 2 children, yeah, I'm gonna go get my thing snipped.
Yeah.
Like a vasectomy. These guys talk about it like it's casual, like it's normal. Like this isn't normal. That's fucking
Can't,
weird.
can't, can't,
Right, in fact,
can't.
let me get that in the scriptures, man.
But it just goes to show, bro, because at the end of the day, the reason that there's so much depression in the society is because everything's flipped over his head, man. What it is that a woman is supposed to be submissive, bro. A woman is supposed to be self-serving, but women are taught from day dot that they can just be rebellious and it's cool. Like, do you know how many women I've met in my life, bro, that have younger female siblings and they tell their siblings, yeah, man, you know, don't settle for that man. You're
Exactly,
young,
exactly.
rebel, all of that, bro. Pushing that spirit of wickedness, man.
Mm-mm.
Go on, like, bring out your preacher.
Yeah, and if I can say as well, that's one thing you gotta understand in this world, man. Sometimes obviously it's all the Lord, but sometimes you didn't get that chick, and it's not because of you. It's because she's got a load of weirdos, a lot of societal things that are going on in her head that she has to maintain. So you're thinking, man, I didn't drop good enough game. Right, your confidence is getting all hit, but really and truly, you
Mm.
did what you had to do. But
For
like the
real.
brother's saying, Auntie may have been saying, nah, you're too young, don't settle for this guy, or nah, this guy ain't right for you, or whatever, what have you, right? Or
Mm,
nah, this guy is too controlling, right?
mm.
And that's
Hey,
that.
and that's another thing, too controlling. How can a man be too controlling? You his possession, Hey, man, I
Exactly.
said like you go
Exactly. But yeah, this is
man.
what I mentioned. Deuteronomy 23 from the top. It says, he that is wounded in the stones, right, in the ball sacks and the nut sacks,
Mm,
in the cojones,
mm,
says, or hath his privy member cut off, shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord.
mm. Go on, bro, break that. Get it in, man. Get it in.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
get
He
into
says,
it, man.
he that is wounded in the stones, or has his rod cut off, man. Look, man, you ain't supposed to be getting no vasectomies, man. Like the Bible was saying, the Lord commanded that we be fruitful and multiply. Right.
Mm,
And it's funny because the guys that will be getting vasectomies are the guys that can actually afford to have a lot of children. Man, you see Jake families, like 5, 6 kids, and then they both parents on like minimum wage or just above,
mm.
right? Struggling, like 5, 6 kids. Yet Esau will be earning, 120 grand a year, have 2 kids. Oh, that's enough. Can't afford any more children.
Can't, can't, can't. Because
Right.
he's anti-life, man. He's totally everything against the scriptures, bro. And that's what I'm saying. Like that's why. And Jake always had that spirit. Look, when we was in Egypt, man, the Egyptians were bugging out, saying like, "Yo, these people came in and look at them now. They multiplying, bro.
Mm,
If we don't handle this, they might join us to one of our enemies and overtake us, man." Because Jake, I've always been in that spirit, man. And all the ancient women of the Bible, like, let me take it on this level. You got these so-called black women going to church every day. I even had some of these stupid Christian bitches try to evangelize to me. I can imagine that. They try to stop me in the middle of the road to talk about some Jesus Christ, bro. Cut them with the scriptures. They're like, oh, I don't like your doctrine. It's not nice. I'm like, what I mean? And I'm looking at the bitch like, okay, like, and then she's trying to school me, talking about you got to come to my church and see the way we do things. Like, woman, what to do? Like, and then the whole time, this bit, like, the woman tried to stop me, telling me about her emotions and how she feels about the scriptures. I'm like, stop telling me how you feel, bitch, and just get me a fucking scripture, or just get in the kitchen and cook me something nice, bruv, and just stop talking, bruv. Honestly speaking, these women, like one of the elder brothers said, they're gonna be doing a lot of bull hugging in the kingdom, man. Honestly speaking, they gonna love it too, bruv.
mm,
Honestly speaking, like, you had Leah and Rachel,
mm.
fighting over who was gonna sleep with Jacob, man. You know,
Right, right. Yeah, I got a preset.
it's gonna go right back to that. Go on,
This is First Timothy 2. The point I want is in verse 12, but I'll start from verse 11. It says, let the woman learn in silence with all subjection.
And that's the thing. A word woman means servant, bro. Let the woman learn in silence and all subjection. You go up in these Christian churches, these women are the ones. If you notice, a man can, and we come from so-called West African families. A man can take his woman to church. He's gonna be the one stood there with his Bible silently, and the woman gonna be spazzing on the floor, having an exorcism, doing all kind of madness, making the most noise in church. Because at the end of the day, these women are proud, bro. They have no shamefacedness, bro. They gonna talk to you about. They go try. Hey, I even had that in my family where my mother tried to take my dad to church talking about, I'm going to introduce you to Jesus. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine that.
Wow. And that's
Imagine
the
that.
thing.
But that's the
If these because these guys will be going to these churches all the time, yeah, year after year
mm,
after year. I mean, that's a basic scripture, man. You go to the is it that book of John? I have not
mm,
chosen you. No, sorry, you have
you
not
choose
chosen me. I have
me, bro.
chosen you.
John 15 and 16, come on.
Yeah. So how the hell can you go around saying that I brought you to the Lord? You can't even save yourself.
That's right. That's right. They can't even control their periods, but they're gonna save you, bro.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah,
Let
go
me
on, bro. Continue.
continue. It says, but I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in
Mm.
silence.
Hey, that's Paul, baby. That's Paul. You know, every woman loves Paul. My auntie's a so-called Christian pastor. She loves her son Paul. You get me? You read her that though, she gonna be looking at you like, get out of my face. You get me? You know
Well,
that proud.
they always have an excuse. Well, see, what you got to understand is, but when that was written, this, because that's the thing with these Christians, they just take out bits that they don't like.
That's right. That's right.
It's the
That's
whole
right.
Old Testament.
That's right. And hey, like 50% of the new, and then they just keep what they don't understand.
Mm.
You know? But yeah, go on.
Yeah, shall I go back into the article?
Uh, yeah, Baba Kashar, man. Because at the end of the day, man, when a woman is in control of a situation, bruv, she is not happy, bruv. Yeah. Um, one of the older brothers posted this in the WhatsApp a while back. I just want to bring it out. It's Sirach 25:22, and it reads, "A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach." And that's rightfully so, because if your wife is maintaining you, she gonna be looking at you like, what the fuck
Mm.
are you doing, nigga? Why the fuck am I paying all these bills? And that's why these women out here in positions of power are not happy, because sorry to be so vulgar with it, but they at work barking out orders and then they going home to get dick down. Imagine that. They dominating at work and then they go home to be dominated. It's
Well,
just not right, bro.
and the worst thing about it is when they are in those positions of power, man, they're flirting with all kind of guys. Right, that I remember
That's right.
reading some stats saying that if a woman earns more, both the man, I mean, which a man can't cheat, but this is
Mm.
using this world's
Yeah.
wisdom, right? It says
Mm.
both are more likely to cheat if a woman earns
Hmm.
more.
Hmm. Hey, man. Hey.
You know,
It just goes to show, bro. Everything in this society is totally off, bro. Totally off course, bro. Everything, man. Because this what so-called white man has got it to where the woman believes that she doesn't have to submit, believes that she's with the man. But actually, how Shai gonna come back and restore everything? You see, when that Isaiah 4 and 1 spirit comes into power, man, you best believe that a lot of these women, pretty bitches, are going to die, bro. A lot of women are going to die the death because of the fact that they've been out here mincing and walking proudly.
yeah, proud.
These career women, bro, have done a lot of men dirty, bro. They got a lot of women have put men in prison or 6 foot under the ground, bro.
So I was gonna say you got to consider a lot of these career women. Some of them won't let anything get in the way of their career. So if they get pregnant by accident, they're aborting that child.
I, on the spirit, you said that because I've come across a woman in my childhood, yeah, that I grew up around. She's 24 and she's had two miscarriages and 2 abortions, bro, at 24, bro. Imagine that. Imagine that.
See,
Two miscarriages and two.
that's called not having any self-discipline, man.
Bro, that's worse than not having self-discipline, bro. That's she's a murderer, bro.
She's
She
a
should be in
well, yeah,
prison.
yes,
She should
right.
be dead. She should be dead.
I mean,
Honestly speaking.
that's the main thing. But
Hey, and not only go on, bro.
so
So
I was
like,
just saying, even in just like I said, in the wisdom of this world, that's not having any self-control. Means you
mm,
got pregnant 4 times and you didn't want a child.
hell, bro. That's 4 lives, bro. Dead,
Yeah.
gone, 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 bro. Gone. And her excuse was, "Oh, I didn't love him no more." That was her excuse, bro. So,
Yo,
and
man.
that's what I'm saying. That's why no, hey man, it's a statistical fact that the most dangerous place for a fetus is in the womb of a black woman, bro. Because she won't base your life on whether, imagine like she gonna base your life based on if she feels based on her feeling, honestly speaking. And that's what it is, bro. The baby's life depends on how she feels. Do you know what I mean? Literally. That's why, man, these women have got to be put in subjection because women are not built to rule, bro. Women are, hey, the word woman means servant, and you women are gonna go back to being servants real soon, bro. Real soon, bro. Hey, I got this precept if I may, real quick, Baba Kasha. Yeah. Ephesians 5:22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Mashiach is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. So guess what, man? Ain't no woman out there having a direct relationship with the Lord, man. You gotta understand that the man is the mediator, man. The man is the connection that the woman has to the Lord, man. Honestly speaking, apostles have gone into it many times. You could decimate the whole set of women in all of the tribes, and we could still bring the nation back as long as you got the men, man. Because at the end of the day, man, the man carries the seed, bro. The man carries the seed, man. That's why it says here, therefore, as the church is subject to Mashiach, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Everything. You know, you got to say it like that for them retarded bitches out there. Let me read that again. Let me read that again. Therefore, as the church is subject, I'm going to read it in verbatim, to Christ. Yeah, for you Christian bitches, to Christ is for the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church. Therefore, as the church is subject to Christ, yeah, for you Christian bitches, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. You know what that means? You Christian women ain't got no business evangelizing to men, because at the end of the day, man, you ain't on the level, bruv. You ain't on the level, man. Just go cook some food, go cook some fish, yeah, and just chill out, bro. You know what I mean? And make sure that shit is seasoned good as well, bro. At the end of the day, man, it's not your position, man. I don't care who gets offended like this. I've been done saying this, and it's the spirit, man. Because you know what it is, bro. I'm telling you, it's the spirit. Because my spirit has always been like this. I just didn't understand why I always looked. You know, when I was in the world, I looked at women as inferior, bro. And I never understood why. I just thought, no, they're not on the level of the man. And I came in the truth, and I'm reading the scriptures like this, and I'm like, oh my God, it makes sense, man. Hey, you know, the Most High created them to be inferior, but Esau's just got everything out of whack. That's why I'm going to work, and my manager's a woman, bro, and she's bugged out, bro. I've had women managers that been trying to get with me, bro, and I just had to push that to the side, like, yo, I ain't even trying to, you know,
because it falls through it, and now she's trying to hit you with some Weinstein scandal.
Exactly that. Hey, man, exactly that. Exactly that. Go on, bro.
Can. Yeah. Do you want me to read more of this article?
Yeah, if there's still some hard points in there, go on.
I'll read this paragraph. It says, as other studies have shown, being a woman in the workplace isn't the easiest thing in the world. Not only do women deal with the pay gap, which is mythical, you actually look at the data. That's just misconstrued data. Since often in high level positions, but we also have to worry about things like having kids or changing. Basically, things you have to worry about being a woman.
Yeah.
Right? Perfect.
And these women ain't got to worry about nothing. That article just said they got to worry about having kids. There's a woman can have a child, go on maternity leave, and get paid for 9 months for nothing, bruv. Literally, just for being off. Literally, she's getting paid off. In the working force, it's a liability, bruv. But then let you not employ some woman and say, it's because they're going to be off 9 months when they get pregnant. They will do you in dirty on some discrimination hard in this kingdom, man. Because at the end of the day, bruv, this place is about the worshipful women. But go on.
Yeah, can. It says, plus it turns out that gender actually plays a big role in performance reviews. Okay. And maybe it's because they don't actually perform as well. And I think we can all attest to that. We've seen how these bitches be working. They just don't perform. You're right. You know, they'll get, would you call it, scolded by the boss. You know, it's been like, boss will be like, yo, why'd you do that? Then instead of working and improving, they're upstairs crying for the next half hour. You know,
I'll witness that. I'll witness that. It's hilarious, man.
As well. So these aren't things that don't happen. These are real life things. These things actually happen.
Hey, and let me just say this: when you got a woman as a manager as well, you can't approach her on no business, because you say some business shit like you know, you might have a male manager. there's issues with his business, you criticize it, he can see it, and he's like, yeah, you're right, I'm gonna fix this. You try to approach a woman with some criticism, she's just gonna get emotional, bro. And that's happened to me many a times. You try to tell a female manager you need to change, etc., 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 or pay me right, or etc. Why? Because at the end of the day, it's not their lot, bro. Not their lot. But yeah, go on.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah, it goes on to say, but even if you manage to work your way up the corporate ladder, despite the odds, there's still challenges. People who don't like working under a woman or who just question your competence, which is like most real men. Any real man's like, look, man, you know, money talks. Yeah, you gotta be true. Money talks. But most men are like, fuck this shit. I ain't working underneath a woman. Fuck this, man.
I be feeling like that every day, huh?
Exactly.
Every day, man. Every day. Hey, man. A lot of these women out here, and this is what I'm saying, like, and even taking it a level further, you see in this society, women are allowed to do the most. If a woman accuses you of like rape or sexual assault in the society, you are guilty until proven innocent. Bro, you could have been walking, minding your business.
And even then, if you're proven innocent, you be like, nah, it's something about just having been accused is enough. You know, you get suspended without pay, you get fired from your job, this, that, and
You'll
the
probably
other.
get fired anyway, even if you get proved innocent anyway.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, bro. Bro, I'm telling you, let a woman accuse you of some rape, bro. You are finished, bro. Completely gone in the society. Finished. Completely gone, bro. Do you know how many men, do you know how many people go to prison over some false accusation of rape where they might have had sex with a woman and then they just cursed her out or broke up with her and she went and said, yeah, he raped me, and then they do.
Well, some of these Beckys, they'll wake up in the morning and be like, actually, no, I don't actually quite like him. And then end up saying that he raped her. And then there was a movement, you know, called Regret is Not Rape.
Real talk, man. Because,
Mm.
hey, man, these women know that they can play the system. Why do you think that there's so many men on child support, rang out, you know, getting run through the ringer? Why do you think Tyrese was crying, man? You know what I mean? Like, you know, because he was getting put through hell, bro, because he was a simp, man. Why do you think, what's his name, that footballer, man, the Arsenal star, you know, the ex-Arsenal star with his woman?
Was it Boué?
Boué, yeah, that's it, that simple ass nigga, making his woman his financial advisor, bro. What kind of shit is that, bro? What kind of shit is that? You give a hey, that goes back into the scripture that I read in Ephesians, man. Not Ephesians, so like in the Ecclesiastes. Hey man, because when you give a woman power over you, she gonna be looking at you like, what the fuck, nigga? Hey, honestly speaking, you speak to any one of these women, even though they ain't, you know, some of them will be reluctant to admit it. All of these women want a man ultimately that's gonna rule over them, that's gonna call the shots and make decisions, bro. That's what they want in their spirit. Obviously, in the flesh, let me say it like this: in the spirit, these women want a man to rule. In the flesh, they want to be out there looking like, you know, Miss Independent. Like they want to be out there looking like the hood Beyonce, you know, talking about you should have put a ring on it and all of that shit. But really and truly, behind closed doors, all these women want is to be dominated, bro. And that's the truth. That's the truth. That's straight up.
Right.
Straight up. Hey man, sometimes I'll be at work, bro, and I see my manager, the actual like the main manager, she's talking to me and she's leaning over the table looking like she wants to get bent over, and I'm just looking at her like, come on, man, you're supposed to be the manager, bro, but you're a woman, bro. You know what I mean? Like you know, like literally, I'll be thinking this, like I'm like, and I literally, bro, you know, in the spirit, you know, I'll keep it humble, but I've actually checked my manager once. I was like, you too emotional, man. How are you managing? Like just like literally, because at the end of the day, bro, women are not built to rule, bro. A woman can't lead a man, bro. That's why all of these Jake out here are bugged out, running around, throwing acid in each other's faces, stabbing each other, because why? They're raised by women, bro. And women will do emotional ass shit. That's why all of these 2/3, the scripture talks about a wicked woman being imputed to a wicked man. That's why a man, a 2/3 will have an argument with his wife, and then she'll go and slash his tires or do some stupid shit like brick his window or spray paint his door or some dumb shit. But and then the same vibration, these Jake will have an argument with each other and they'll go grab a kitchen knife and stab a man or throw some acid in his face or do some irreversible damage because they're on the same vibration of a woman, letting their emotions run them.
Exactly.
That's why a lot of these young Jakes are either dead or in prison, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, this scripture you quoted is Sirach 26 and 23 says a wicked woman has a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord.
Hey, and that's right, man. That's why I would had it both, and many other brothers in the camp have had it, where you deal with a woman and you think, yeah, man, you know, this is straightforward. This is my little honey in Babylon, man. You know, my little, but you know, obviously obviously you don't look at her like she's wifey, because brothers are obviously wise enough to know these women ain't shit. But you think, yeah, this is my little side piece in
A
Babylon. You
little
know, I
bit
can
of
hit that up on
mercy.
the side. Yeah, a little bit of pussy, you know, my little respite. And I guess
Yeah, a
what,
bit
the
of
Most High
mercy
just
in it.
take that away from you, bruv. Because honestly speaking, either that woman's gonna be a demon onto you, or she might soften your spirit. You might be with that woman, and then all of a sudden, you know, rather than doing the vigils, rather than doing the work, rather than linking brothers, you want some, yeah, I just want to cuddle up with my woman. That ain't the spirit you're supposed to be in right now. You're supposed to be in that warrior spirit. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be in that, okay, like that DMX in the belly. You know, I know DMX is off, but you're supposed to be in that, yeah, fuck the bitch, throw the towel on her and just keep it moving, bro. And honestly speaking, have her calling you on some, when you next gonna come see me for the next 5-6 months, bro. That's how you gotta be, bro. You gotta be, you
100%.
hey, you gotta be rolling, man. Got these women ain't shit. Go on, bro.
This is Job 40 and 7. It says, gird up thy loins now like a man. I will demand
Mm,
of thee and declare thou unto me.
that's right, man. That's right. Hey, man. At the end of the day, back it can have 4 and 1 as well. Hey, man, the bread and butter scriptures, but that's important because honestly speaking, women respect from be on road in the time of martial law, singing, you know, singing, what's it called? Excuse me, miss. I saw you. Yo, that nigga gonna get nukes, man. He gonna die, man. They gonna rob
Mm.
his chain, and then you gonna have that hood nigga Tyrone with the 6 chains and the muscles
Yeah.
driving off with the Rihannas and the Kiriashis, bro. At the end of the day, man, you know, it's gonna be some survival of the fittest shit in that day. Go on, bro.
Shit, no, I just apparently found out David Rockefeller apparently has died. Is
Oh, for
that,
real?
yeah, it just got
Yeah, I
shared in
mean,
a
you gonna have to
chat.
verify that, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it says it's coming from RT.
Oh, for real? Hey,
It
man, if
did.
that's the case, Barack Obama, how about Shana?
Yeah, apparently he died yesterday.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to look that
His
up, man.
Wikipedia
I'm gonna have to
page
look that
says
up.
March 20th, 2017. Oh shit, March 20. That's the equinox. That's the
That's
equinox.
2017. I was not no. That's
2017. Oh shit. Yeah, that's a year. Yeah, 'cause I was thinking, didn't this guy die like a long time ago?
yeah,
So why's
yeah,
that
yeah,
being
yeah.
shared in the chat just as if it's news? Okay.
I don't know, man. I'm even looking at it right now, but
Yeah, Salak.
yeah, man, you got me excited. I was
Yeah,
like,
I was, I was
sure,
looking, I was
man.
like, wait, isn't this guy been dead?
Yeah, no,
Can't
he
believe
has
it.
been.
This is a 1 year anniversary or something. Yeah, 1 year.
Yeah, kind. Yeah, man. I
Can't.
was like, yeah, go on, bro.
Yeah, I was
You
thinking
was
it was
holding
another
that
lone
Isaiah.
child. Say again?
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. No, I said you was holding that Isaiah 4 in it.
I wasn't, but I am now.
Con.
Isaiah 4:1 says, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us
Mm,
be called by thy name to take away thy
mm.
reproach.
Yeah. See, in that
Damn.
day, there ain't gonna be no, excuse me, miss. You know, I'm kind of feeling you, and I was wondering if I could get your WhatsApp number, or can I get your Instagram? It's gonna be, yo, get on your knees and suck this dick now. Like, you want
Well,
some food?
well, they'll be saying, look, I'll get on my knees and they'll be offering,
That's
right?
right.
Because they'll just need that protection. That's what they're going to be looking for.
hmm
And
hmm
that man is an Israelite man.
Yeah, man shall be as a protection from the wind, isn't it?
Yeah,
A hiding
yeah,
place from the.
I
Hey,
get that.
honestly speaking, you women are gonna appreciate, man. You see, and then when that time comes, Apostle to Heart always mentions it. A lot of these men are gonna realize all of the fuckery that they've been put through by these women, man, and they're gonna ride out, bruv. A lot of you pretty women are going to die, bruv. Honestly speaking, you're gonna be in there in your house when a martial law is going off. You're gonna hear that knock on that door. You're gonna think it's some Section 8 or some food. Tyrone gonna bust that door down. Like, yo, bitch, you had me on child support for years, bitch. Yo, it's gonna get real, real. And I got a precept for that real quick, yeah, which is Isaiah the 32nd chapter. I want to go from verse 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease.
Read verse 2 first as well.
I can't.
Because
Hey,
I was
yeah,
holding that
that's
in.
we quoted that. Salakia. Isaiah 32:2, and a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadows of a great rock in a weary land. Hey man, like that book of Eli, man. You know, hey man, a man's the only way that a woman's gonna survive out here. There ain't gonna be no Lara Crofts, no Wonder Womans, none of that shit. Yeah, you women are gonna have to realize that a man, it's a man's world, man.
This
It's
is
a
a
man's
man's world.
world, you know. Hey man, that was beautiful, Baraka, for your hard bar, Shimi Hawashai, because all of that bullshit is gonna fall apart, man. You women are gonna realize the nitty gritty, because you see in all the ancient societies, bro, it was raw, bruv. Now in this modern day society, everything's just fluff in this society. But that's why you women are out here. That's why a woman can go out on a Friday night wearing next to nothing. A woman can literally walk out her house in hot pants, but let you slap her ass, yeah. And honestly speaking, bruv, you finished, you through. Bro,
Yeah,
a woman can
just
walk,
to put out that we don't advocate that behavior.
you know, brothers don't advocate that, you know, I'm just saying, hey, you know, you look at all the social medias, you know, I can wear no bra and walk out my house with my nipples pierced, and you know, and wear my sundress with my nipples showing through the top. I've seen women making quotations like this. I be at work and these women be talking about, I can't wait to wear my shorts in summer and go to carnival, and I'm like, bro, like these women are harlots, bro. But they let you treat them like some harlots, and then hey man, they're gonna put you under the jail, bro. Honestly speaking, but it's all good because the Most High, man, is got it in store for you, wicked women. And I'm going to bring out the judgment. It says, verse 9, rise up, you women that are at ease. Hear my voice, you careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Hey, as we do this sit down, the time is 11:39. I guarantee you there's some women out there right now in central London, drunk as hell, off the top of off their head, in some Shoreditch right now, off some cocaine, yeah, roaming around, booking taxis. They're single men thinking, if only I could get a piece of that, if only. But then guess what? They can't move to them. They can't even talk to them or even literally lay a finger on them, because why? They're going to call that 999 and your ass is going to be finished. But in that time, there ain't gonna be no 999s, bro. There ain't gonna be no, nah, you can't talk to me, you're dead though. None of that. None of that is gonna be, hey man, you know, you either get down with a program or you get rolled over, and it's gonna go into it. It says, hey, many days and years shall you be troubled, you careless women. And a lot of these women are careless, bro. That's why they be out here popping children out left, right, and center. These women out here, these Jake women, they're either having children for numerous men or they're having numerous abortions. It's one of the two. One of the two. I've done seen numerous Jake women with children pushing their prams and they carrying some shopping. They're using that shopping from the child support. They're using that child support money to go buy some lubes,
Yeah.
and then they got the daughter pushing the pram, the 5-year-old daughter pushing the 1-year-old in the pram. I've seen that shit, bro. Or they walking down the road and the door a good 2 minutes behind them on the road, walking next to some total stranger, and then they're just on the phone to their homegirl or the next guy that they fucking. I've seen that shit. Hey, you watch that Tommy something about your video. There's women out here having sex with men when their baby's in the back seat of the car, leaving their babies to die in cars, throwing babies in dumpsters. This shit is real, bro. The scripture talks about the curses, man. That you know, the eye of the woman shall be evil towards her seed. Hey, you know, it's not a lie, man. The scripture's got an answer for everything, every single thing, including why you people feel so fucked up, bro. Including why you women right now, man, are not living happy lives because you're trying to take ownership you're trying to put yourself in a rulership seat, man. And honestly speaking, you're there to get laid on your back and get plowed, bro, and then cook some food, man, and bake some cookies, bro. That's what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? Bro. I mean, I think actually, yeah, there's a bit more. So, like, yo, it says, many days and years shall you be troubled, you careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease, be careless and be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make ye bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. Hey, honestly speaking, man, there ain't gonna be no Mac makeup. There ain't gonna be no what's some of that shit that these bitches use. I mean, I don't even know, but you know, there ain't gonna be none of that Mac. There ain't gonna be none of that, no foundation. You ain't gonna be able to get your hair done. All the Felicias and Shaniquas, all you bitches out there buying, importing your fake hair from these overseas countries. We gonna see your level ones in that day, man. We gonna see your bare scalps and that curse that the Most High put upon you. There ain't gonna be no wig you can wear in that day, man. Honestly speaking, a lot of you women are gonna be out here with your panties stinking, your hair stinking, and you can get slaughtered because, honestly speaking, all of you, hey, and I just thought of it in the spirit. Tommy said, Sotomayor said something which was true, man. He said, with a black woman, you can't tell the difference between a black woman and a tranny.
Mm.
And that's for the most part, and that's the honest truth, bro. Because at the end of the day, honestly speaking, for the most part, man, you women are so manly, bro. You got all kind of hella testosterone up in you. You listen to some Cardi B, and you up in men's faces doing all kind of madness. All of that is going to be settled down, bro. All of that, bro. All of that. You women are going to realize that the man is the head of the household. The man was created to rule, and honestly speaking, your lot is literally just to be subservient and follow, man.
Can.
Yeah, man.
Can.
Man. What are you saying now?
Yeah, no, I haven't got anything else out.
Yeah, I'm the same, man. I'm the same. Baba Kashar, let's finish it off with Genesis 3 and 16, Baba Kashar. Because honestly speaking, you got to realize that, hey, all the men of ancient, man, realized that there were no righteous women. King Solomon, the king of Israel, man, 1,000 women, man. He had heathen women. He had women of the nation of Israel, all the different tribes, Judah down to Issachar. Guess what he said? There's not a single righteous woman, bro. Yeah, you got the story of Samson, bro. Look what Delilah done to him, man. Hey, even though she was a heathen woman, you got our forefather Adam. You got many examples of why women cannot lead, man. Proverbs 31 and 3. Yeah, give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings, man. You've got many ancient and modern examples of why women cannot rule, man. Women are not built to rule. Women are built to be servants, bro, because it's in their DNA. You can go as far as to say it's in a woman's DNA to be subservient. You know why? Because the Most High written in His scriptures, and that's scripture, natural, nature. Anything that's in the scripture is natural because that is in man's DNA. That's how man was created to be. Yeah. That's what, like, in the animal kingdom, you think you're gonna get a female lioness, roll up on a lion and start shagging him. That don't happen, bro. That don't happen. The woman's out there hunting and the man's chilling, waiting for that food, man. And then the woman brings it to him and lays it before him, and then the man gets it in. Because at the end of the day, the lions, the animals know their lot, man. Now Esau trying to flip it on some, you could do it like this, but I think, hey, man, we read it earlier. You're turning the things upside down, man. Esau's trying to mess with the puzzle piece, trying to put puzzle pieces where they ain't supposed to go. So guess what? He gonna be erased, man.
Yep.
He's that puzzle piece that don't fit the picture.
Yes, Ecclesiastes 7 and 26 to 28 says, "I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleases the Most High shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by," which is a precept on Sirach, as we read earlier on, Sirach 26. It says, "Behold, this have I found," saith the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not one. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found. Like just to back up what you were saying.
Because women are inherently wicked, man. Inherently, bro. Hey, man, that's why women need men to guide them. And it's always been the case, always will be, man. So it don't matter how many feminist marches Esau organized. They don't like these women took feminism and now they got feminism and now they got slut walks, bro. You got feminists out there that feel they get empowerment from throwing a JJ out there. And there's a whole movement out there, headlined by Amber Rose, where women are just getting naked and saying, "I'm naked and what, you can't fuck me." Like that's what it's come down to, bro. Like it's literally come down to women out here withholding sex from men on some, yeah, I've got the power, and honestly speaking, you can't touch me unless I give you the permission to. But hey, man, the Most High gonna flip it right back on his head, and you women are in for a real surprise, bro. Real surprise. But let's finish off with Genesis 3:16 in it.
This is Genesis 3:16 says, unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrows and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. Thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
Because honestly speaking, birth originally was supposed to be a natural through the sin of the woman. And, you know, they were cursed, man, and they were cursed with those contractions, those birth pains. Because honestly speaking, the baby's supposed to slide out naturally, and that's what we're gonna go back to in the kingdom. But right now,
the Israelite woman,
the water, you're right. The Israelite woman, man, supposed to have children naturally, man. You know, that child's supposed to literally slide through, man. But guess what? Through our women going off, man, you know, that's the child pains and labor was brought upon them. That's why these women be up in here having all C-sections and getting their stomachs cut open and all of that, man. Because childbirth is given onto you as a burden sometimes now, man. But honestly speaking, like, what you got to understand is that Yahweh created the woman to be subservient, and the Most High himself is a man. So you mean to tell me, it tells you in Exodus 15:3, the Most High is a man, a man of war as well, to add on to that, and then he's going to build a woman and then give a woman more credence over the male creature. Come on, man. It just don't add up, man. You know, just don't add up. The Most High created the woman for the sake of the man. The man has both the X and the Y chromosomes. I don't know which one it is the woman has. I'm gonna go off and just say, just the X. The what? XX, man. That's right. The brother coming with that real knowledge, that real science. You know. Honestly speaking, the man has the X and the Y, and the woman has just the X. But at the end of the day, that should show you the man determines the gender, does it not? So, beautiful, you know, the man determines the gender. The man has the X and the Y. So that shows you what? The man has the seed. The man is the originator. Yeah? The word husband means planter. Planter of what? The seed. Yeah? So, honestly speaking, bro, without the men of Israel, you could have all the women of Israel you wanted. Yeah? But guess what? If the men of Israel weren't around, you'd have nothing but tears. That's why the Egyptians wanted to kill all the Israelite babies. That's why Pharaoh wanted to kill, not Pharaoh, so like or Pharaoh, yeah, you know, with the Egyptians. But that's why Herod wanted to kill all the male-born babies, man, around a certain age in Israel in the time of Yahushua. Why? Because he was trying to cut off the line, man, of the Messiah. But hey, guess what?
I'm trying to kill the
Israel
Lord.
lives on. He was trying to kill the Lord, man. He was trying to kill the Lord. But guess what? Israel lives on, baby. Hey, the Israelite man is still out there. And honestly speaking, man, the scripture talks about the Lord's going to make a man finer than the fine gold of Ophir, man. The Israelite man is going to be restored to a great height, man. To your woman as well, you know. But I'm going to leave it with this. We're going to have kings in Israel and their women. There ain't going to be no queens, you know. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. It's a man's world.
Yeah, so Lord's all been edified. Shalom to all the Archean that have been watching. And yeah, until the next time. No give all praise to Hashem, Yahshua, Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honors
The one is the apostles, man. The one is the apostles.
Shalom.